Hi, guys. This is Suzanne, and welcome to the Sip and Tea with Suzanne show. I am so excited to be here today. I'm so excited about today's guest. But before we get to our guest, I wanted us to give a shout out and a thank you to Life Garden Cafe, which is our fabulous space sponsor. Once again, they have gifted us this beautiful space, and we have an opportunity to sit here, to bask in this lovely ambiance and have a great time. All right, so now that we have that out of the way, I wanted to introduce you to today's guest. So the fabulous Miss Carla. Hello.
Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here.
I am so glad. Well, thank you for saying yes, for being on the show. So Carla, I actually met this year, and it's funny. I feel like I've known you forever, because I feel like we're at the same event now. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on this show, because I feel like you're always highlighting other women. You're always putting other women in the forefront. You're always sharing their endeavors, what they're doing, and supporting them. And I wanted to do the same for you. I wanted to put you in the spotlight because there's so many phenomenal things that you're doing in the community. And there's so many different hats that you're wearing. And I know that my audience will be inspired, will be motivated, and be empowered by you. And I wanted to just chat with you. So welcome to the Sip and Tea with Suzanne show.
Thank you so much.
All right. So tell me a little bit about yourself so the audience can know.
Yeah, so I am a mother, a partner, business woman, I'm a leader. Like you mentioned, I love empowering other women. I like spreading around everything and anything I can just to promote other people, just because I feel like we need to do that for each other. That's how we grow. That's how we help. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to buy anything. A simple click to share takes zero amount of money, and it's something that I love doing to help other people around. I am a community person, I guess you could call me. I love being in the community. I love volunteering my time, especially for things that really matter to me. I'm Latina. I was born in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico! All right. I bet you wish you were there right now.
I sure do.
Ooh, it was cold, but okay.
Yes, I do. So that's pretty much me. I love being out here. I love Worcester, the community. I actually live in Southbridge, but I work in Worcester. I started my nonprofit in 2021 with my co-partner, Jasenia Arroyo. And yeah, I think that's me.
All right. Well, yeah, like that's me, as if it's that simple. No, you said something so profound there. It's, it takes like a simple share or click or a like. And sometimes we feel that we have to support each other with money. And yeah, it helps. Listen, you got to pay your bills. But, first, show that support on social media, like a post, share a post so that somebody that you follow or that follows you can see that and essentially can become a customer of that person. So, we like celebrity stuff. Why not like something that our friends doing, that are somebody in the community that we know that is doing? So you're always doing that consistently. You're always sharing everything, and thank you for sharing and supporting my endeavors and my events. And so I have to talk. So this weekend, this weekend we had a ball.
Yes, we did.
Yes, the Royal Holiday Ball. And let me tell you, you were more excited than I was.
Still excited. I'm already shopping.
You were. I was because I put the ball on, and I think you were the first person to buy a ticket. And it was she bought a ticket. I was because I get the notification because you bought the website. And you were just so excited. And then you got your dress, and the ball was just incredible. But you were sharing it the countdown. And I'm I was excited, but I was oh my God.
Yes. Thank you, first of all, for bringing it here, because we don't see things like that here. So as soon as you started promoting, I was Yes, we need this. I love dressing up. I like wearing gowns. I like feeling pretty. And I think it's needed out here in the Worcester community because like things like that you only see in like in Boston or New York, or you don't see that too many balls per se out here. So I'm already shopping for next year's ball, which I believe there's a date.
There is a date.
So don't wear green, people, because I am.
Yeah. You heard it here. Okay.
But yeah, it was super fun. Like the details, it was amazing. Like, every little thing that you did and you created, like the decorations, the tags on the table. I wanted the centerpieces, like I was like, I feel every Latino has a big party. They take the centerpieces. We just take them, But I was like, you know what? Let me ask because maybe it's not like that,
No, it's not. But like as a Jamaican, I understand because we used to. You go to a big one or a big party, right? You're going home with them centerpieces because, like, first of all, if you have a big event, it's like 50 tables. What are you doing with 50 centerpieces? Because when you order flowers and stuff like that, like they don't want it back. They charge you an arm and a leg, and it's yours. So you can go home with 50 vases of flowers, but no. So each piece was chosen. Like I intercept pieces from my home and things like that. But like, a few people have asked about the centerpieces, and I was like, no.
We can reuse them next year because they're perfect. They were so perfect. I loved everything. I love your name on the backdrop. I just loved everything. I was dancing when probably nobody else was.
Yeah, I know. You were one of the first ones on the dance floor. No, it was fun. I do have to shout out, I did do the decor and all that. And but Miguelina from Shall We Go Chic, she did the backdrop, the black and the gold with the pictures with my name. And she was so excited about that when I saw it. I loved it. And it just blended so perfectly to what I had created. So we had similar vision. And but thank you so much for the support. December 9th, next year, 2023, it's the next, and do not wear green because Carla is wearing green. And so we're excited about that. All right. So we know that you love dressing up. That's fantastic. So I know that you do like to give back to the community. So like, what are some of the things that you volunteer and do? And like, why are you so passionate about like this, any particular endeavor?
Yeah, I think I'm very passionate about helping out is just because of my upbringing. My mom was always like that. Like she always tried giving back. She helped kids in foster care, giving them a home when they were transitioning from house to house. So she was always very giving, and I just caught that trait from her. And so currently right now I'm involved in different boards, like the DPR, which is the Diverse Professionals Roundtable, and that's through the chamber, and it's all about networking, getting together. I believe, you've gone to some
I'm a member DPR.
Okay. So you know about it.
I do know about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I love being part of that, especially seeing people that look like me, be in a room. Like the recent event, I walked in and I was like, oh my God, look at all this greatness. Like, because sometimes you don't see that, where I work, sometimes I'm the only person of color. I could be in a Zoom call and I'll be the only, So it's very nice to see things like that. I used to be part of the Young Professional Women's Association, and I plan on becoming a new member next year. And that's all about networking and pretty much a little bit of everything. But I'm looking forward to becoming a member of the Sister Circle. If you don't know about it, maybe you do. So I'm waiting, looking.
Like, okay. All right. So let me, the first thing I'll say, so you got that from your mom, like the volunteer. That's fantastic. That's honestly where I got mine too. Like my mom, like is a volunteer. She volunteers. At one point I used to say, like, I don't need to volunteer. My mom has volunteered for several generations. you know, but then you do it once and it's so rewarding giving back. And, you know, I like the volunteering that you do sometimes, like it's like behind the scene and nobody knows that you're doing it and you're just doing it. I know that there's a trend where, you know, folks are helping folks, like they stop on the street and they're giving a homeless person $20 and they have to video it and put it on social media. And like, that bothers me because I'm like, you know what? Your dignity, you know, nobody chooses to be homeless, the ones that are genuinely homeless. So you still deserve dignity. So I really like the idea of giving back. And, you know, representation does matter. I'm a part of DPR through the chamber, and it's nice to go to an event that, you know, it's for us and nothing's wrong with other events. But, you know, it's nice sometimes to go to an event and somebody understands your culture. I remember QCC. So I'm a mentor there, and I remember going there when they hired the new president. And President Luis Pedro, he had plantains. Like, listen, I showed up at this event and they were like honoring his culture because he was, girl, there was plantains. I was like, it was just like, wow, like this is so good. It was just like, it was because like I'm from the island, like so it was really good to see that. And you know, I know the YPWA, you said you're going to be a part of that. So there's just so many different organizations to be a part of. And
absolutely, I could go on. I'm part of Labo.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Labo. Yes, we're going to talk about Labo. So, and you know, Sister Circle, it's, you know, it's the group that I founded with 3 other phenomenal ladies, and membership is opening up next year. And, you know, we're looking. Yes, a few folks have been holding my feet to the fire, and you know, I'm excited. Just want to make sure that when it launches, that you know, it's streamlined and everything. But I'm excited because you know, the thing behind it is the things that you talk about, the things that you love. You know, it's supporting each other, encouraging, lifting, empowering. You know, and all of that and togetherness. So I'm excited about 2023 and you know what that means for Sister Circle. So. You are a part of Labo, as I mentioned. We're going to talk about that. And, you know, I was in the corporate sphere for so long. And when I stepped out in May, I had an opportunity to go to different events and see Labo, and been very impressed with how they've been able to stand in and be a representation for the Hispanic community, and just like the different ventures that they're doing and opportunities that they're given to Hispanics. And you know, I've said this to you and Elizabeth and Sylvia and like anybody, I'm like, you know, I'm really impressed with that. So just tell me a little bit about Labo and your role, and you know, for those listening that you know that are of Hispanic heritage, you know, could certainly get involved. With
absolutely. So Labo is the Latin American Business Organization. The president right now is Elizabeth Cruz. And I am part of their board, so I'm doing like marketing for Labo right now. Well, actually, like social media. Let's do social. Not Renee. I take it back.
You're a digital strategist.
Yes. Okay. I get the word out. Like, So and I'm also part of their Labo News show. So Labo is all about empowering, you know, the Latinos, but of course everybody else too. Like, I believe you were on Labo News show. We like helping out everybody, but of course the focus is the Latino community. So they have different classes. They just recently had a class called Dine, and it was to help entrepreneurs that have like some sort of business idea actually take this class to make it happen. And we've had several people that have graduated from that class. We were offering like Portuguese classes. We're offering very different things. They do a lot of networking classes. They also do different trainings. It's all about, like I said, empowering and helping. And then,
No, we were just talking about Labo
Yeah.
and, like, and what your role is, and you already answered
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
answered all the questions and, what they're doing. No, but like, that's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the things that they're doing. I think they were recently doing something, or I don't know if they've done it yet with Clark. I thought I saw some advertisement, sure, they're doing something, they're offering something through Clark University.
Yeah, I think so.
They're gonna
Yeah.
be but
Yeah, they're just doing a lot.
I love
And it's
that.
more to help out and to help out, especially those that don't speak the language.
Mhm.
Sometimes they don't understand, like, oh, you need certain forms to do certain things to build a business, like, you need a permit for this or a permit for that. So they have different trainings, so that way people could know and learn on how to do certain things when it comes to having a business.
No, and that's so important.
Mhm.
That's important
Yeah.
because I think as an entrepreneur, a lot of times,
Mhm.
you're doing things and you need that help. You need somebody
Yeah.
helping you write in the business plan and
Exactly.
just to help protect you. And
Yeah.
then when you have the language barrier,
Mhm.
that's even more of a hindrance because you're
Yeah.
like, the places that and the spaces that are there to help
Yeah.
sometimes don't have someone that speaks your language.
Mhm.
And like there's just misinterpretation or things are missed, during translation. So to have somebody that understands your language and speaks your
Exactly.
language, I think that's so important. That's so crucial. So
Yeah.
I think you guys are doing a great job there,
Yeah.
and continue to do that.
Mhm.
Any networking event, I'm there, I'm supporting. I was just at your end of year celebration dance at the storm, and
I know.
it was really nice. So some great people there. And I'm looking forward to see what Lavo is doing in 2023. I know it's largely for the Hispanic, the Latin American community, but I know that nobody is going to be turned away if
No.
they ask for help. And I think
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay though to have things that are there to increase awareness in your community, things that are there to build economic sustainability in your community, things that are there to empower your community.
Yeah.
I certainly believe in and stand up for and support my Black community,
Mhm.
and I'm always fascinated and love to help for things that does that.
Yeah.
So I think, why not?
I know.
Why not?
Yeah, and another great thing is when you become a Labo member, you get to be part of also the Labo News Show.
Okay.
But at times we do take in those that are not Labo members, because we do want to highlight everyone.
Absolutely.
And we want to give that space so people could learn a little bit about your business and what you're doing, and hopefully get you more clients and to take a look at you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I actually was you're right. I was on the show
Yeah.
a few months ago, and it was a great interview. I had fun and just trying to know, and I'm not a member of Labo.
Yeah.
But it was nice to be a part of it. And
Yeah.
you're also a part of the She's Local. Aren't you on that board? Like I tell you, girl, you have a lot. So tell me about She's Local and what that is, and your role.
So She's Local has, I believe, 7 different chapters, and we are the Central Mass Conference for Women. And that is all about women empowerment. It's a conference that happens once a year. We'll have different panelists. The cool thing about it is that the night before we usually have like a comedy show. So that way you could mingle with the panelists, you could mingle with the keynotes, you could mingle with hopefully the guests that are going to be there. And it's all about no labels there too, because we feel like we're one, we shouldn't feel like, oh, you're an executive, so I don't want to talk to you because, oh my God, I don't know, maybe we won't mesh. So that's why we usually don't put labels on our name tags. We just put your name and that's it.
Yeah.
So that way people could interact with each other, not knowing, oh, I'm talking to the CEO of United Way, or, and so far it's been working. I feel like people get more comfortable not knowing exactly who you are and what you do. The pricing is cheap compared to a lot of different conferences that are around. And it's a space where you learn, you empower, and you're there for one another, and you learn different things because there's different panels for different things. But yeah, I've been part of that board when it first started, which was last year. So this is our 2nd year here in Central Mass.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be in June. So make sure to check out she'slocal.com for more information.
Yeah. So no, I mean, when I found out about it, it was like, it happened like my last day at work. So my last day in corporate America, and I mean, I'm not gonna call out. It's like I saw it and I was like, okay, close the night before, and like, so I missed the comedy show because I was closing, I was at work. I was trying to, I don't know if I was closing or so much as there was so much going on and I wanted to wrap up everything, because when you've been with a organization for several years, you know, there's things on your desk that you want to wrap up because, you know, you want to leave, like everybody, like not thinking, oh my goodness, this is a mess because she laughed, or, you know, she created a mess or things like that. So I did that. So, but I missed that. I'm excited about this year. Yay. I like that idea though, that everyone, you know, it's just, you come in and you're just Carla, you're Suzanne, and you know, whoever you are, there's no titles or you worried about that. You just,
it can be intimidating.
It can be,
Especially if you just come in fresh out of college and you're like, oh, I want to be here so I can learn. And it's easier to talk to someone when you don't know their background.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And there's so many barriers. Like I think it's sometimes, you know, my best friend is from Brazil, and I know that I sometimes, because she has, you know, an accent, sometimes she's hesitant to kind of talk to folks at first because, you know, like she thinks like her accent's going to make her stick out, you know. Folks that are entrepreneurs that like literally have a little business, they're running out of their kitchen, they walk in, they see CEO, they're gonna, you know, hold back from chatting with that person because they're like, well, like they're running a big $500,000 company, or you know, like whatever. So no, I think that's fantastic. I'm looking forward to because it's already on my calendar, so I'm looking forward to it. And you know, I did sign up to be a panelist, so I'm definitely hoping, but you know, regardless, I'm going to be there. And you know,
we had so much fun last year. It was so great, and we got a lot of great feedback from people around and how excited they were for next year. And so it's definitely June. So in June, check us out.
All right.
It should be fun. Yeah. I'm excited.
All right. I'm excited. So now I want to talk about something that you're very passionate about, your nonprofit.
Yes.
So that has been a baby of yours for a while, and it came to fruition this year. So tell me how you first got the idea for that.
Yeah, so I went to school to get my master's in social work, and there I actually met with Jasenia. And as I started interacting with her, getting to know her, we figured out that we have similar backgrounds. We both were homeless at one point. We both had issues with food insecurity at one point. Some of our family members had a lot of like mental health issues. So it was like a barrier, and it was something that we both experienced. So that kind of bonded us even more. So then we started talking, and of course we're social workers, we graduated, and we were like, what can we do to serve our community, to help it, to embrace it? And Southbridge is a small town, you know, it does have little things here and there, but I feel like it was missing something. So then we just started talking, and we decided to do the Wellstorm Inc. The name, it was, I don't remember what we were talking about, but the meaning behind it is that we all go through some storms before we become well. So we decided to call it the Wellstorm. Wow. Yeah, and those are our major things right now. The three major focuses is mental health, food insecurity, and homelessness. Okay. So right now we're trying to do one program at a time, just because we want to make sure it's successful. And so the first thing that we did was the Bridge Fridge, which is a community fridge that's outside for the community, and it's open 24/7. And thankfully, I know the co-founders of the Woo Fridges. So she gave us like all the tips that we needed and said, oh, you need to talk to this person and that person, and this is how you start it up. And she also gave us the fridge.org's information. So the fridge.org has a bunch of fridges globally, everywhere, Brazil, any place you could think of, there's probably a community fridge out there. So since we were still so new with a nonprofit and we didn't have status yet, we were under their fiscal sponsorship at first. So that's how we were able to get some funding through them and things like that. And thankfully we were able to open this year with the fridge. Yes, the fridge is actually at the Renaissance Medical Group, 11 Saundersdale Road in Southbridge, Mass. So shout out to RNG because they've been amazing hosts. They're going to be paying for the light bill that comes along with having a community fridge outside. They gave us free three different parking spots. They let us have those for just that, which is nice. And anytime we need them for anything, they're there and very helpful. So the community fridge currently right now, we've partnered up with another nonprofit that is actually giving us raw meat. So like every Monday they come and give us raw meat that's by sell date. So it's still good as long as it's frozen meat, and we put that in a designated area, which is the upright freezer, and anything that's not expired, we put it in the fridge and in our pantry items. But we normally have 2 volunteers per day to clean, sanitize, to check expiration dates, to check on, oh, that's the other thing. So we also have dog and cat food available. And the reason we did that is because if we're struggling ourselves, we're not going to have money for our cat or our dogs. And thankfully here today, Adopt a Tomorrow, which is also a nonprofit, would be giving us cat and dog food on a weekly basis for free. So we're very thankful for our partnerships. You know, a lot of people in the community has helped us. We recently just got approved through the town's ARPA funds. So they're going to supplement us for 6 months. So that way we could at least fill the fridge once a week, which we're noticing that it's gone literally like sometimes end of day or the next day. So I know there's a need and we need to come up with more funding, but unfortunately, because we're so new, a lot of the grants won't give us the funding because they want to see us being successful for at least 3 years. So some of the funding comes from us, some of the money comes from local businesses, from banks. Sometimes the banks just go there and bring food, which is great. You don't have to give us money if you plan on doing that, you know.
No.
But the overall goal is to have different companies fill the fridge every day. So like pretty much like, let's say the Wellstone will pick Monday, then United Way could pick Tuesday, you know, U-Ink could pick another day. Like, so that's the overall goal, to have everybody in the community contribute to at least one day out of the week. So that way we could fill it for the 7 days versus just the 1 day a week.
I know. So, so much information.
I know,
in
sorry.
there. No, don't be sorry. I'm loving it all. I am loving it all. And I'm just blown away. You know, you talk about, you know, when you were going to get your master's and you met your partner and, you know, just having similar circumstances, you know, experiencing homelessness and experiencing food insecurity. And then to be able to take that and to, you know, translate it into, I'm going to do something that's going to help my community. You know, that's huge. That's a big thing, I think. And then not only having that thought, but then executing that. And I personally know that starting a nonprofit is not easy. I mean, you would think, okay, I'm doing a nonprofit, I'm helping my community, folks are just throwing money at you, but it's not that simple. It's not that simple. And, you know, you talked about a lot of these partnerships that you have, and I'm really grateful and glad that you have these partnerships because, you know, you would end up funding a lot of it yourself, and you do fund some, even with these partnerships. So it's so important. Partnership is just so important. And, you know, getting some visibility here so that other organizations will listen and, you know, see the need. There is a need. You know, I mean, I go to the grocery store. It's like you go in and you spend $200 at the drop of a hat, and it's gone in 2 days. Food's expensive. And, you know, folks that have to choose between, do I pay my rent and have shelter, or do I buy food, or those that don't even have a home, you know, or, you know, things like that. So there is a need. Sad, but, you know, but there is a need. So I think that's a wonderful thing that you're doing, and, you know, just getting the partnership. And if you're looking to volunteer money or anything, you know, reach out, connect for information. We'll be included in the blurb, but I want to say kudos to that, on doing that. And, I hadn't thought about, the pets component, maybe because I don't have pets, but I
me too. I don't. I don't either, but I know a lot of people that do.
No.
So I was like, it makes sense for us to add this too.
No, that's right though, because when you think about it, like if you can't buy food for yourself, you definitely can't buy, cat and dog food. Exactly. So I think that's just I'm blown away by that. And again, there's a need. It's gone like by the end of the day. And there's so many, I think also when you're dealing with food, there's so many different restrictions in terms of expiration date, how long something's exposed and things like that. And when you have something like that with so many people going in and out at the the fridge being open, and I think it increases the risks of something going bad quicker, right? But I'm glad that folks are using it, that it's not going to waste, but it's sad that there's such a need for it. So and I always think it's like a catch-22, as you mentioned, because you're newer. A lot of organizations are not like, they're not like giving you money, but I always say, okay, I get it. It's kind of like when you're looking for a job and they're like, well, you don't have any experience. I can't hire you. But if you don't hire me, how am I going to get experience?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, here you are in the community trying to do this. And, they're like 3 years, not even 6 months, not even 1 year. Like, let me see what you have done. And why they feel justified, because a lot of the nonprofits that have started it haven't been able to sustain to the 3-year mark. So then they're like, see, that's why, because they're failing because they don't have the help and the resources. And 3 years is too long to see if they're going to be a hit. 6 months to a year. I think anything longer than a year is too much. And so what if you give your organization, it's a big write-off. So what if you give money to an organization and they end up failing, but folks still have the food? So it's kind of like if you open a shelter today and you feed 1,000 people and 6 months later you're out of business, it doesn't matter because 1,000 people still got fed. So I think they have to reevaluate and look at it, because I've come across that. So I'm not a nonprofit, and there's some things I've been trying to do, like, for the community, and but like I won't get funding because I'm not a nonprofit. And you mentioned that, under the Woo Fridge, they were your fiscal agent for a while.
Well, the fridge.org was.
Oh, just the fridge.org.
Not the Woo.
Okay.
They're not a nonprofit.
Okay. They're not. They're just community people like yourself.
Mutual aid.
Exactly. Helping each other out. So, and I think like people don't understand that, like, sometimes you can go through that. Then it also causes like, it's just,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think that's why a lot of people just give up and get frustrated, because they just don't want to. So I used to drive around like during the Christmas season, like with bags of food and hand out. But I stopped because I was like, so I used to watch this show called Frasier. And like he had picked somebody up and turned out to be a prostitute. And I kid you not, like I had to stop because I'm like, okay, the cops are going to think I'm trying to pick up people. Just drive up, pull up, call them over, and just hand you and I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do this. So, because I remember pulling up onto the bridge before they lit it up, the one downtown, and they're not under there anymore, and giving them like bags of like Kentucky Fried Chicken food and like all of this. But then I was like, okay, I don't think I just didn't want a cop to pull up behind me and wondering what I'm doing. Like, come here.
Like, Miss Suzanne, what are you
like Paul, I'm gonna call my husband Paul. I'm in jail for what? Okay, so but no, girl, I am so proud of you. That is phenomenal. I know that it wasn't easy, and I know that even with it being established and building, and what is it, 6 months now? About 6 months. You still have 2.5 years left to go for them to whatever. Like, listen, corporations, give the money. Like at the end of the day, people are eating the food. Like, really, it doesn't matter. Give the money, because it's a write-off for you. And you literally have a certain amount of money that you have to donate. So like these causes that you're doing, like save the blue forest tree twig or whatever, like this is food. Folks need it. And it's it's not until you're out there that you find out that like folks need these things.
It's true. Yeah. And thankfully we like part of the Board of Health out there is that they wanted us to put cameras. And at first we were like, no, we don't want that because, you know, that's, I don't want to see nobody or whatever, but it's actually helped us now because we're able to visually count how many people have been going to the fridge.
Data.
And that's a huge thing when it comes to grants. They want data, demographics. So I don't necessarily need like your name, your birthday, your date of birth, your social, but we do want to get like small information, especially for the town that actually gave us the 6 months worth of funding. They do want a little bit of demographics. So we have a QR code that's right on both the fridge and the upright freezer that people could just scan and do a quick little demographic sheet, just to help us so that we can continue receiving funding. Because if we don't do that, they won't give us any more funding. We also have paper copies in case somebody doesn't have a phone or can't.
I was just gonna ask that. I was like, well, suppose I don't have a phone.
So we do have paper copies, and we have pencils and pens right next to it that we sanitize every day, so they could be used. But yeah, a lot of grants want demographics, so that's the other thing. So not only are we too new, but then if we demographics that look at the whatever amount of sheets of demographics that they need, because for us it's very basic. All we could get is what town you're in, how big is your family, what ethnicity are you, I think there was one more. The town, that was it. So it's very simple, but not every grant is like that. They want more information. So if I do find a grant that finally after the 3 years, if I don't give them the demographics that they're looking for, we won't qualify either. So it's like there's always a little bit of barriers in everything. Hopefully that gets better, but so far we're standing strong, and we'll see what happens.
I love that. I mean, I do know that they have to be processes and protocols in place because, I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of scam artists out there and a lot of fake nonprofits and things like that. But then, you know, it does end up hurting the legitimate nonprofit agencies that are really trying to be helpful out there. So I will continue to pray that, you know, you'll continue to get the support. The word will continue to spread, and organizations will feel like just throwing money at you.
Hopefully. Thank you.
It's ready.
Exactly. I hope so. We'll see.
Yes. So, you know, for that part of what you're doing for your nonprofit, any future goals, anything, or just this is going to be your focus, or you want to look into branch off into anything else?
So right now that's our focus. And then eventually we'll do like homelessness and mental health, like offering free mental health. We're not sure exactly yet what exactly we're going to be doing. I just know that we want to provide everything for free, whether that's having a shelter and helping people out in the interim, get them set with like getting a resume going, you know, getting them back on their feet so that way they could then leave our shelter program. Absolutely. You know, and then same thing with mental health, you know, offering those services, because I know, I'm not sure, but for Latinos, there's a huge stigma when it comes to mental health and seeing a therapist.
Girl, I'm Black.
Okay.
And Jamaican. And Jamaican, you know, listen, I can tell you stories, but like we like, you know, we don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. We don't do that. So we want to change that, and we want to be out there, especially for the people of color, so they can see this may help you in a moment that when you really need it, you know. So, you know, Jasenia actually is a licensed social worker. I'm working on mine.
All right, girl.
So we're trying to do different things and cutting that stigma out, because we just need to, and especially our males, like males do not feel like they could be vulnerable
Nope.
and open up, and and sometimes you need to.
They need to. It's a stigma. It's a stigma. We definitely have to change the narrative in terms of that. It's like I don't like that's how I was raised. Luckily I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like go to therapy. You need therapy, go to therapy. And listen, and I go to Jesus, but I also believe Jesus will say, go to therapy. Because it's important.
It is.
And I coach. So as a life coach, it's something that I give advice, and we do have to protect men, men of color, Black men, Latino men, because they were raised with this gender, like strong, like gender mentality.
We call it
where,
machista.
like, machismo, is that?
Yes.
I mean, cavemen, no, but it's like that's how I used to say sometimes, like in my own countries, like, listen, because they're taught like they have to be strong, they can't be weak, they can't show vulnerability, like God forbid they cry or ask for help or things like that. They have like they're the stronger species. I mean, girl, this is not the show, but y'all know that women are the stronger sex, right?
No comment.
Okay. So no, yes. And my husband's my cameraman, so he's my producer and everything. So okay. Oh, hi, honey. But yes, no, we do have to protect our men. And I think that, women as women, we also need to let them know that it's okay to be vulnerable. Absolutely. It's okay to, have moments, because I think in any partnership, there's going to be moments when you're stronger or moments when they're stronger, but like you're a unit, you're one. And like what happens inside, it's like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in your marriage stays in your marriage. You work on it together, or your partnership if you're not married. But we need to give men room to be vulnerable. And if it's therapy, if it's life coaching, if it's counseling, because we do know that men suffer from mental health issues. We do know that Black men, Latino men, they suffer, and I think it is even more heightened when they feel like they'll be looked at less than a man if they seek help for it. So I'm happy for you that that's an avenue you're going to go to. I hope by that time it will be a little more destigmatized, and that more men will seek it, and and whether they're doing it in secret, I don't care, as long as you're getting as long as you're getting the help. It's important. It's important for them. Your relationship is better. They're better parents. Better friends, and things like that. So get in touch.
Hey, maybe we could hire you as a
all right. Yes. Listen, let's throw that out there. And this is going to be live. I mean, I enjoy being a life coach. I had a meeting with a counselor a couple of days ago. One of the things I said to him, I'm transitioning a bit away from the life coaching, but I'm still a coach. In terms of I don't want somebody to come to me and says, okay, you're going to be my coach for life, because I want to equip them with the tool and then step back 6 months to a year. Yes. But, I want them to be able to through the things that we learn, the things that we do together, because we're building confidence, we're finding out what's the root cause of the issues that we're having and the challenges. And, we're holding ourselves accountable and things like that. So within 6 months to a year, they'll be able to walk on their own, because that's the idea. That's the goal. Absolutely. I don't want them I don't want to become their crutch. And sometimes when that something is there and there's no end game, right? Then it's become like, well, I have my life coach. Okay, so we're going to start off by holding you accountable, but as we progress, you're going to hold yourself accountable. I'm not going to check on you every Monday to see did you complete, because that's no way to live. It's even with a child, we have to trust them, to leave the house. I mean, maybe you're going to follow behind them with your car for a couple of days, but you're going to trust them to walk to the park. Oh my goodness, my goodness.
So I do that with my medical students.
Yes.
So I do I'm their call it, case manager.
Yes.
Coach, and I see them throughout their time at the university.
Yeah.
So 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 4 years.
4 years. Yeah. So, you know, but then you got to let them go. So,
and then I let them go, but they become my babies, you know, because I worked with them for so long. So I deal with nursing students and medical students and biomedical science students.
Oh, wow.
So so we do that, and I try to help them and give them advice and help them with resources and things like that.
So that's a good transition into the other part of your life, because I mean, you would think that the Wellstorm will be the, everything, because it takes a lot, but it's not your major.
No,
I'm not even counting your volunteering thing. But so you are a social worker.
I am.
And you enjoy that.
I do enjoy that. I love working with the students. I love helping them out. I love seeing them graduate.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like either a big sister or a mama. I don't know. Some of them are, I like aunties.
We aunties.
You know.
We aunties. We got to that age, girl. Oh my God. We were the cute cousin. Yeah. And then like one day, like my niece really kind of reminded me I'm not like the cool cousin anymore. And like the other day, I legit walked into the living room and said to my daughter, "Are you on the Facebook?" The Facebook. It's official. Yeah. I'm old. I'm an adult. But it's all right, girl. We cute. Okay. We That's cute. Right. We cute. All right, I keep it moving. So back to the social work.
No. So it's I love what I do. I love helping them and empowering them and making sure that they are doing what they need to do in order to graduate. So it's very fulfilling and great. I love working with them.
Carla, I think, so everything that you do is, I'm listening to this interview, and everything that you do, it's so connected. Like everything you do is so focused on caring for others and giving back and empowering others, from your volunteering, from working with Labo and, She's Local and, all the volunteer things that you do. Representation matters to you, to what you formed with your nonprofit and the work that you do, and you're given so much of you. So I do want to say kudos and congrats. I am very, very proud of you. You inspire me. And well, thank you. Well, mutual observation. All right. Right. So I was very excited to have you on the program just to talk about, because like I said, you're always putting the spotlight on somebody, and I don't think you shine the spotlight on yourself, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for. Somebody else will shine the spotlight on you. And that's good. So I just wanted you to know that's why I want to have you on the show. And I'm so honored that you said yes, and that you got an opportunity to come on and share, all those phenomenal, fantastic things that you do. So we don't have a lot of time, but I want to talk about, girl, because listen, you're a fashionista. Listen, we're going to end this talking about, every time I see you, you like to dress up, you support small businesses, local designers, things like that. Like you're wearing dresses and pants and I'm like, girl, where'd you get that? And you always share, and I love that, because sometimes you'll see a girl or a woman in a gorgeous, you're like, oh, where'd you get that? And I'm like, when I was in Paris in 1992, I picked it up. Girl, you gotta know. You got the city trends. Calm down.
I'll send you the link. I don't care.
You do. We're just sharing, because we look different in our stuff, but you always look fantastic. And I'm like, where? And somebody's like, where'd you get that? I'm like, girl, I got it here. There, go. And I love when it's a sale.
Me too.
Go on, girl. And there's a coupon. You can get it 50.
So. No, I love that, and I love sharing. I don't care. We could wear the same outfit.
We look different. It's all right, girl. We twinning.
Maybe that should be your next networking event.
Oh my God!
We should do the many faces of Suzanne.
Oh my God!
And we all come in a different look. We have to look, that'll be so much fun.
27 dresses?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's I can't believe I only met you this year. I can't. I feel like I've known you for such a long time. Oh my goodness.
It's your energy that keeps me coming.
Oh, thank you. I will say. All right. I genuinely like people.
Yeah.
And I'm attracted to energy, just like you. And I think that like God gave me the spirit of discernment. And, you know, even like this space that I was blessed to use, I met them this year also.
Awesome.
And you know what? Like, I think you're a good person and you treat people well. I think it comes back to you. Like, I genuinely think that. I've met some great people, and honestly, the ones that I've met that are not so great, like, not even a thought.
Exactly.
Like I would say, if they're not planning, it's like they're not planning to kill me, I'm good.
Yeah.
But let me know if they are. Otherwise, I'm just like, it's okay. But yeah, I know. I love like that you love to shop because you know, so any upcoming plans or any little events you're going to next year that you're excited about, apart from the Sister Circle event?
I know.
Yes. And the ball, December 9th, 2023.
And the ball and the other stuff that I won't mention because that's up to you to mention. But yeah, those are awesome too. Do I have anyone? I think the only one I could think of is the Women in Development that's coming up in January.
What's that?
I just found them recently. Yeah. I just know they're doing like a networking event. They're gonna have someone there to take headshots.
Yes.
And and I was like, okay, and it's a way for people to get to know who they are and what they do, so I was curious. Yeah. So I want to go check that out. I believe it's January 6th.
I think it's the 12th.
Is it the 12th?
I think it's the 12th because you shared it with me. So
something
I do. So one of the founding members of Sister Circle, Marsha, and I remember off the chambers, we were part of the same networking group, and we have our New Year's party that day. Oh, like, and it's like literally the same time. So we'll figure it out because that's like, I'm like, let's see, we'll figure it out because I'm like, sometimes I double, triple book, but like, I'm trying to, because, you know, it's different things.
There's so many things.
Listen.
I know. And actually, you did that the other night too, because we were at the DPR event. I think it was the DPR event. Yeah. And then you had something else.
I had something Boston. Like,
I was just like, I did. Girl, how do you do it?
I did. And then I had one night that I did 3 events, and it was just like, wow.
Don't you get tired, girl?
I do. Okay. I do get tired, but I have non-negotiables. So, you know, I network like throughout the day. I work, things like that. You know, I have the luxury now of working remote, which is one of the greatest thing, you know, my own business and being a mortgage loan officer, which, you know, I'm able to schedule Zoom call. You know, I could pop into a realtor's office or things like that, but I typically don't go out there. So a lot of my communications and my work takes place via Zoom, Teams, and over the phone. So I have the flexibility to be home to pick my kids up from school, which is truly what I loved. You know, I can wake up in the morning at 5:45 with them, Lord. I'm still working on that. And I heard somebody say the other day, like, if I'm not going to school, why am I waking up with them? But so exactly. So I have that luxury of working in the morning, getting them in the afternoon. I can network in the evening. So like I have non-negotiables where I don't network 5 nights a week, and Sundays are my non-negotiables. The weekends are my non-negotiables, you know, like, you know, husband, kids, and all of that. So I'm very good at compartmentalizing and ensuring that Suzanne is taken care of because I'm out there. And like, you know, you mentioned energy, and a lot of folks mention energy to me, but I also believe that like you give off your energy. And if you're constantly giving off it, you have to kind of sit down sometimes and recharge. And I never want to burn out because I love meeting people. So, you know, and I love that. I love that we get to see that in each other and get to enjoy each other and go to different events and just have a ball. But I'm looking forward to that, girl, because they mentioned pictures, and you know we love taking some pictures.
Sure. They were like 3 headshots. I was like,
right, best. I was like, let me work it.
And then they mentioned nuestra, and I was like, I want food.
I know. Girls, I'm chicken wings. Say less. Okay, I'm back with it. You know I like my plantains, right? So yeah, so I am girl, I'll figure it out.
Okay, I'll see you there then.
Yeah, you might. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, and Marsha's going, but she'll come with me. So she's fine. Like I be dragging her to places. So She's there.
love
She
Marsha.
is. She's cute. We
Yeah.
like her. Yeah,
We
she's
do love
cute.
her.
Yeah, we love her. She comes. She's so like, she is,
Yeah.
so sister circle. We're just so different.
I
Like,
know.
Marsha's the one that I'm like, let's go. And we're there. Like the other, like Raquel and Nataki, I have to convince. And
We love them too.
I love them all. And I love that because like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the clip I posted with us with the walk.
I love that. I love that video. I'm like, I want to do the walk with y'all.
Oh my God, how many people want to do the walk challenge? Like, we did it at the ball.
Yes.
Because now,
Yes.
But we get better each time. So like, I found out, because I swing my hip from side to side, so I can't walk next to Raquel because the Martian has to walk. I mean,
That's funny. That is so
listen.
funny. Well, y'all better put me in there.
Like,
somehow.
all right, the next Sister Circle event, you'll be in on the walk because
right.
there's a clip and there's a certain length that that it talks about sisterhood, and there's a certain length, so this walk has to be for that time.
Okay.
So we good, you in, girl.
Okay, you guys heard that. Right?
Yeah. All right, honey. So make sure you delete this after. No, not at all. Well, girl, I had a blast. I absolutely love chatting with you. I love everything that you're doing. I love your fashion sense. I love that coat that you wore on Saturday night, girl.
I sent you the link.
You did send me the link, but Shh, don't tell my husband. So I do like to shop a little bit.
Me too.
I
It's
know.
a problem.
I know, but the clothes are so cute.
I know.
Yeah, clothes are so cute. I love your energy. I love everything about you. I just love how you mention the name of women in rooms that they're not in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's so important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, a couple of times folks have reached out to me. It's like, Carla, like, mentioned you. And I'm like, I remember you called me once to do a speaking event in Boston. I was bummed because I just happened to be in New York. And I'm like, I'm in New York. I'm not going to make it home. But no, so thank you. I appreciate you always mentioning my room. No, don't mention my room. So mention my name, and I'll continue to mention your name in rooms because you are a light, my friend. And the world deserves to see you how I see you. And I think from this interview, they'll get an opportunity to see you. And I'm looking forward to many fabulous events this upcoming 2023.
Yes, I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm just going to have you sign off and tell the guests how they can reach you and all that if they want to connect with you. And then we'll sign off, and then we'll get to start in a half an hour. We'll do our Suzanne and Friends.
Woo-hoo.
Yay.
Yeah, so I'm on social media, both on Facebook and Instagram on the Wellstorm Inc. Or at. I'm not good at this, like Suzanne, Yeah, so if you find us on Facebook, Instagram, you'll be able to reach Waitress. We always respond. So
all right.
yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for saying yes. I think that my guests will love you and just the things that you're doing. I'm inspired by you, and I'm just looking forward to continuing to watch you soar and all your dreams coming into fruition.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. So another phenomenal guest on the Sipping Tea with Suzanne show. I love this show because it gives me an opportunity to chat with folks in the community that are doing phenomenal things, sharing their story and putting the spotlight on them. And I hope that you will continue to watch the show. So it's Sipping Tea with Suzanne. It's on YouTube. Please subscribe to the show, share with your friends, like the episode, share the episode, tag a friend, write a review, nice one, please. And if you're not so nice, I'll handle you. No, I'm joking. But please just go ahead, share, like, subscribe, do all the things that you're supposed to do. And tune in next Wednesday when I'll have a brand new guest and we will be talking about all things fabulous.